Now I'd like to welcome Paul Lonsdale, and it looks like you've come with a team from the Central City Business Association. Welcome.
Atamari e mōrena, tēnā rā koutou katoa.
Kia ora.
Ki te rangatira koli e tēnā koe, ki ngā kai kaungahira o Tautahi, tēnā rā koutou katoa. Ngā mihi, good morning. We are four representatives of the Central City Business Association. We represent more than 200 business owners, managers and property owners in the Central City area. I know you know who we are. I'm going to make some very quick introductions inside the minute that I have. I te taha Maui ko Paul Lonsdale tēnei, ko ia te menetia o te CCPA, the manager. I tēnei tāne ko Brendan Chase tēnei, ko ia te chairman, the chairman o te CCPA. Kia ora Brendan.
Kia ora.
I te taha mātou ko Louis Sutherland tēnei, ko ia he pōari member, board member o te CCPA. Ko Maureen Tāne ahau, he pōari member ahau. I am also a board member since our inception in 2007. Ngā mihi nui kia koutou katoa, ngā mihi mahana, kia ora mō te tautoko ki te tū, ki te kōrero, kia koutou katoa. Thank you for the opportunity to speak to our submission. Ngā mihi.
Kia ora.
Tēnā koutou e tēnei ata. Me our councillors, thank you for the opportunity to speak to this, our submission, which we take it as read. And I believe we don't need to go into too much detail about introductions. You know who we are, and we've been around for a while. We've proven our worth over the years as an organisation. We're a diverse, representative organisation that's championed the Central City through its recovery phase and rebuild phase. And as the city is moving into the regeneration phase, now more than ever it is important that a coordinated, independent body such as the CCBA exists to provide a collective voice for the business community. And in that, cohesion and moderation and working together with council. So we're here to principally speak to the question of funding and to ensure that we're sufficiently resourced to carry out and complete the work under our strategic plan. We're seeking a 2-year commitment of $100,000 annual grant to support the implementation of our strategic plan and move towards an independent funding model. In addition to this, we're likely to seek further support from the Council's Bid Establishment Fund to assist in resourcing growth in the CCBA membership base. This is to be specifically targeted to grow our membership over the coming year, and this will be a key step if we're to successfully establish a bid in the 2020 financial year. So why do we need this funding? Our activities are brand and events. There's a gap in the generic market for the Central City specifically. We want to work with our regeneration partners in Christchurch NZ to look at developing the Central City brand, or at least to ensure that there are strategies in place to create greater awareness of the Central City and what it offers. With a clear brand, we'll be able to better align with existing events and partner in developing new events that bring people into the Central City. Accessible City, we're keen to work with the wider business community and regeneration partners to explore ways to address real or perceived barriers to people coming in to town, regardless of the mode of transport. We want to look at innovative measures improving parking and long-term accessibility to the city. Examples being transaction-based incentives for parking. We're also keen to explore how businesses can play a role in promoting and welcoming active and public transportation. safe city. We're partnering on initiatives to make the central city streets safer, especially at night, and reducing the incidence of begging and other on-street social issues. We're partnering with valuable initiatives such as the Shop Op to activate vacant commercial spaces. And as mentioned previously, their progress towards financial sustainability as an organisation. A key outcome in our strategic plan for the next 2 years is to move to an independent funding model to generate resources required to run the CCBA. And to this end, from the 1st of January 2019, the CCBA Executive Committee has committed to introducing a membership fee as a stepping stone to a bid establishment. Any income derived from this will contribute to meeting the requirements of a successful bid establishment. Towards the end of the 2018-19 year and carrying on through the 19-20 year, we intend to undertake a comprehensive engagement process with the business community around the feasibility of establishing the Business Improvement District program for the Central City, and as mentioned, running that poll in the 19-20 year. And to do this, we need to grow our membership base, so we'll actively seek to do this. The value of the CCBA to the central business community is having broad and engaged membership, and which will enable our advocacy role to continue to be representative as the central city continues to grow. Membership recruitment is also a key to ensuring the support of the business community for the central city bid. We're now happy to answer any questions you may have.
Sarah, Jamie, Andrew and Phil and Anne.
Hi there, and can I just say thank you so much for the really constructive work that you do in the Central City. We don't always get really constructive comments around, for example, the transport program, those kind of things, but you've always engaged really constructively on that to barriers and perceived barriers. So that's been really good. I didn't realise until I read your submission that there was no funding at all. And I know that last year we had your deputation talking about initially, because it had been 60, went up to 100, and we'd mentioned that support could be available this year. So what would happen if we didn't? And if we didn't fund as much as was asked, would you be able to compensate by, say, I mean, you've got 220 members, 200 a pop would be $44,000, that kind of thing. So what would happen?
We're actually asking, we've gone through our finances over for the next couple of years. We are going to have to, as we said, up resource to actually ensure that we can actually deliver our goals under the strategic plan. And that means we are going to need more funding rather than less to achieve that. So we want to get to the 2020 bid poll in a position where we're actually truly representative of as many businesses as we can, and to do that we're going to need that more resource. So we have actually looked at the possibilities of actually less funding, but it does make it very difficult going forward. So what we're asking is 2 years to ensure we can actually achieve our goals, which we actually developed together with the council, our strategic plan. So as I say, you know, we've trimmed back as much as we can in all the areas that we actually currently do. So we handle everything. We don't have outside consultants handling our social media any longer. We've taken it all on board, made sure that we're actually running like a well-oiled machine, but on, you know.
Yeah, but do you have any contribution from members yet, and are you able to do that to boost your funding?
The goal is to obviously introduce a membership fee, but we've actually looked at that as actually some additional funding to help with our up resource to achieve our goals under our strategic plan.
It is a modest fee that's proposed. It's $100 a year plus GST. Our membership spans quite a wide range of businesses, from the people who operate out of caravans essentially to hotels. So
can you have a graduated fee?
not initially, no.
think the fee part of it is just an initial step to get them used to paying something. The bid poll would obviously see that fee increase, considerably. So it's the introduction of it, get them used to actually, being a part and paying for our services that we deliver to the city. But obviously, to achieve bigger and better things, the bid poll is obviously the for subscription. But we see that it's actually a positive move to make sure that when people actually are committed, whether it's actually by a targeted rate or a membership fee, their interest and their want to be a part and have a voice actually increases. So we see that as actually a positive move, but it's a step-by-step process.
Thanks. I note under your inner city residential heading, the comments there, and particularly around the support of the reimbursing or rebating of the development contributions for residential in the central city. My question is, how long do you see that running for? So till when? How much longer should that run for?
I suppose that we see some really uptake of residential in a way that actually adds some meaning to getting more people living in the city. We're not seeing that at the moment. We're not seeing the commitment to, en masse going back to the central city. Some of that is due to, I believe, perceived restrictions, access and parking, and some of the city assets getting back to the level they were pre-earthquake, which would obviously include a stadium.
So it's an end game.
So
instead of a close date, it's an outcome.
Outcome. And look, you may have actually some other more inventive ways to activate, property owners or to actually want to build more residential. We just want to see more of it actually happening.
Andrew?
Thank you for the submission. Just on your forward financial strategy, the 100,000 per annum for 2 years, followed by what we would hope to be a successful establishment of the Business Improvement District in 1920, would that then see you financially sustainable in a way that you wouldn't be expecting to make further requests for council funding at that time because of that financial sustainability?
That's our expectation.
Yeah, that is the expectation. And look, the targeted rate, the bid polls are held all over the country. They've got a lot of successful ones, up north. We haven't seen one down here at this stage, so we hope this is a positive move and leading the way for other areas like New Brighton, like Littleton, like Sydenham, who also could actually go through this process. So it's really important that we are resourced well enough to ensure that we can actually prove the worth of it and getting our members over the line and actually having it established. We believe that the targeted rate will actually set us up in a way that will certainly put us on a good footing. Obviously, as years roll by, we want to increase that targeted rate to ensure that we can actually deliver more. And again, it's a step-by-step process. We want to get it initiated, get them, committed to being a part of the team, and really it is a team effort. We're all in this together. We've got to make sure that we get a really successful central city back, and we've seen over the last 7 years with the lack of having a cohesive central city, people's habits have changed, and we need to change them back so they come back and support their city.
Well, you did really well to use the theme of the LTP in your reply to the question. So thank you all very much. We are in this together. Thank you very much for your submission and also for the work that you do. It's really important to our central city that it's alive and active and people are living there. So thank you.
Thank you. Thanks
Thank you very much.